All right, welcome to our explainer. Today we're taking a look inside the Taoist celestial bureaucracy to meet a really fascinating figure, Wen Qi. You can think of him as the cosmos's very own chief cultural officer.
Now, I want you to forget any idea of some dusty, old, distant god. Wen Kuei is way more dynamic than that. He's best understood as both the academic minister and the romantic poet of the heavens. He's kind of the ultimate celestial executive, blending a super sharp intellect with a deeply artistic soul. So, let's get right to it. Who is this celestial minister of education and culture? Well, in a nutshell, he's the divine executive in charge of pretty much all cosmic culture, knowledge, and artistic creation. The whole shebang. So as the celestial CCO, his official portfolio is huge. He governs the passing down of knowledge, that spark of artistic creation, and even the romance of language itself. He is, quite literally, the patron deity of the star of talent.
Okay, so to really understand Wen Qi, we have to look up, way up. His story, his very essence, actually begins among the stars. You see, astronomically, he is Tianquan, the fourth star of the Big Dipper, and that's the central pivot point. Now, this position isn't just some random spot in the sky. No way. It symbolizes balance, moderation, and justice. And this cosmic stability, it's the very foundation of his refined, cultured, and fair-minded divine personality. You know what's really cool? The depth of his role is baked right into his name. Wen translates to culture, academics, and knowledge. Meanwhile, Kuei covers the arts, music, romance, and creative expression. His entire job description is captured perfectly in just those two characters. So, what does a celestial chief cultural officer actually do all day? Let's take a closer peek inside his divine portfolio to really understand how he embodies talent. Now, this is a super important distinction to make. You can't get him mixed up with another deity, Wen Chang. See, Wen Chang is your go-to god for passing exams and climbing that civil service ladder. But Wen Qua, he's all about cultivating genuine artistic flair, eloquence, and that special spark of creative talent. Think of it this way. One is about structure, the other is about substance. And this makes him the patron deity for a really fascinating range of modern professions. Yeah, we're talking about artists, writers, and performers, of course, but also think about PR consultants, public speakers, and even diplomats. Basically, if your career depends on cultural literacy, refined taste, and elegant communication, he's your guy. But here's the thing. Like any truly powerful force, Wen Shu's influence is a total double-edged sword. It offers these brilliant gifts, but also some potential pitfalls. This brings us to the two sides of his nature, the brilliance and the traps. And understanding this duality is absolutely key. On the positive side, his influence brings wisdom, elegance, artistic talent, all the good stuff. But the shadow side, that reveals the dangers of that same energy. You could become superficial, impractical, maybe prone to emotional drama, or even a classic jack of all trades, master of none. He even warns that when you're too lost in the clouds of creativity, you might make simple contractual errors. Ouch. So this leads to a pretty critical question, right? I mean, having talent is fantastic, but how does that raw talent translate into actual, recognized success and fame? Well, the answer lies in a special power Wen Qi holds called Hua Qi. This is the divine ability to transform that inner talent and taste into tangible success, a public reputation, and academic recognition. It's the force that literally turns a gifted individual into a true opinion leader. It's the secret sauce. Okay, so why does this ancient celestial minister matter to us right now? Well, our final section is all about the lessons he offers for modern life and how you can actually channel your own inner Wen Qi. His core philosophy is actually simple, but so profound. Life isn't just about work and money. For true fulfillment, it requires art, beauty, and emotional nourishment. The message is clear. Real wealth is measured by your inner substance, not just what's in your bank account. And just look how directly his wisdom applies to our world today. He's a huge advocate for a holistic education, one that values creativity, not just grades. He champions lifelong learning. He reminds us that your inner substance, your knowledge, your refinement, that's your best asset. And crucially, you've got to balance that passion with wisdom. Your inner cultivation is your most valuable social calling card.
So you might be thinking, great, how do I actually do it? Well, here are 3 really practical steps to unlock your own inner Wenqua. First, cultivate your inner substance. Read, learn, really develop your taste. Second, put that knowledge into practice. You have to transform theory into action to avoid being that superficial person we talked about. And third, express yourself elegantly. Communicate with grace and with thoughtfulness.
So we'll end this with a final question for you to think about. Have you channeled your Wen Qua energy today? In a world that's so often focused on pure productivity and hustle, have you taken just a moment to connect with your inner artist, your inner scholar, and your inner romantic? It might just be the most valuable thing you do all day.